is it the primary key? What type of, what is there any condition, like how it is formed, things like that, like any information regarding the
data.
attributes,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, sir.
Very good, very good. So that's basically what we are doing here. So redirection, as you can see, a table name is student, the attributes are student ID, CGPA, date of birth, department name. Here student ID is a text type data, the size is 7. An example, as you can see, 9710780, this is an example, and a remark is there. What is the purpose of this attribute? This is a primary key of the relation. It contains ID of the student. Example is this. CGPA is a number. It contains cumulative grade point average of the student. Example 3.92. Date of birth is basically another date time type of data. The size is the format is given DDMMYY, and this contains the date
Sir,
of birth. Yes,
sir, could you record this on?
this is very simple. You don't need recording for this.
Then okay, thank you, sir.
And department ID, department ID contains as a text type data. It contains 5 characters, and it contains the department of the student. That is important. And as you know, department ID should be ID of another table, right?
Yes, sir.
So department ID would be ID of which table?
Department table.
Very good. As you can see in the remark, we have mentioned that this is a foreign key from table department. Example CSE. Okay. Any problem? Is there any problem?
No, sir.
Very good. But we don't use this format. This is the very preliminary things I just have mentioned, but we don't use this format. We use this format. So the conventional way. So we are very picky about the convention. So please abide by this rule. Whenever the relation is appearing, either mention TBL, the name of the relation. That means if it is student, mention TBL student. TBL stands for table. Table student or student underscore T. Student underscore T. Why we are saying that? Can I recom করছি? Any idea? Any idea? কিছু বলবেন কেউ? Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Sir, could you please repeat the question?
The question is, you can see like in the previous part we have mentioned student is the table name, but here we are saying TBL student. Why we are saying TBL student? Okay, let me give you some examples. When we will start coding for the database, we need to make code, right? We need to fetch the data
Yes.
from the database. So how do you fetch the data from the database? Definitely you have to access the table where the data would be there. So
Yes.
what should be the name of this table? Student, right? Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now to make sure this student is a table, we have a prefix called TBL. TBL stands for table. So I know this is a table, a relation which is there in my database. That's why I am using the convention as TBL. At the same time, you can also use student underscore T. Underscore T is also referring to the table. So anyhow, whatever you do, you must need to identify that name, student name is a table or is something else. So we have to distinguish a table from something else. That's why we are saying TBL student. The next part, as you can see, student ID. Student ID, I need to mention, I need to fetch the student ID as well. So what type of data is student ID? Text type, right?
Yes, sir.
Or we sometimes mention that this is a character type data, right? No, it can't be. It won't be a number. Why it should be a number? Okay.
স্যার নাম্বারটা ফ্লোট হিসেবে কি করছে? আচ্ছা না,
কিন্তু আমরা স্টুডেন্ট আইডি তো স্যার আমরা কোনো ক্যালকুলেশন যোগ বিয়োগ কিছু করতে পারতেছি না।
না, যোগ বিয়োগ
এর জন্য
করতে পারছি না।
কিছু হবে না।
না, যোগ বিয়োগের জন্য না। It's not only for doing some arithmetic type of things. Not only that, there is a main reason. What is the main reason? Now think of it. Students who have joined IOB in the year 2000, what should be their ID?
00.
It will start with 00, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Now
sir.
when you store a number with 00, how the number would be stored?
Zero
Like-
will be gone.
Exactly. So if I store 001, what would be the number?
1.
1. So is it correct?
No,
No.
sir.
No. So that is the reason why we can't store student ID as number. Same with mobile number, telephone number. You know, sometimes it starts with 0. Like each and every mobile operator's mobile number starts with 0, right, in Bangladesh?
Yes, sir.
So if it is 018, it would be 18. If it is 017, it would be 17. Then it might be a problem. Is it okay? Or no? Are you now convinced? Okay. So now to identify what type of data we are handling, because these data need to be stored in my program with some temporary variable. I need to assign a temporary variable. So I need to declare temporary variable and need to store that value somewhere, right? So for that purpose, each of the attribute has a prefix with the type. You can see C stands for character, N stands for number, D stands for date of birth, or sorry, date stands for date time. So D stands for date time, N stands for numeric, C stands for character. Is it okay? Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
স্যার
these
যখনই আমরা
yes.
স্যার যখনই আমরা নেমটা যখন তাহলে ডিসক্রাইব করবো তাহলে কি এরকম করে স্যার আমরা অলওয়েজ বলে দিব যে ক্যারেক্টার নাকি বা নিউমেরিক্যাল ডেট এগুলা
Name টা মানে I didn't get
স্যার যে
your
যে
question.
নেম যে কলমে যে স্যার আছে ওখানে যে লিখেছেন যে সি স্টুডেন্ট আইডি লাইক যখন when we'll do it বা when we'll do it for another thing তখন স্যার আমরা এভাবে লিখবো যে ক্যারেক্টার হবে নাকি নিউমেরিক্যাল বা
Exactly. You have to write it based on the database. I'm repeating again, based on the database that you are working with. So for an example, if you are working with Microsoft SQL Server, you can get the data type of Microsoft SQL Server. If you are working with let's say Oracle, you will get data type for Oracle. Let me just give you some example. The screen is blank, right?
ইয়েস স্যার
So here, let's say for an example, I am typing data type in MS SQL. So this is basically I'm searching for Microsoft SQL Server. Okay, so I can go there. I can follow this link. Here you can see we have character, var character, text, n character, n varchar. So there are different types of data are available. See? Okay. So whenever you are writing your code based on the whatever is your what should I say? Whatever is your preferred language or preferred database, you have to abide by the rules of those database or that programming language. So for example, here you can see like in Microsoft SQL, we have character, we have varchar, we have binary, we have variable binary, we have tiny text, we have text, so in number. So but basically we have string type data, then we have mentioned about numerical type data, then we have mentioned date type data. So these are some predefined data types, right? But they have different variations. So whenever you are fixing the prefix, you might need to fix accordingly. So each and every company, they do have a mechanism how they write their code, so that you know, like it would be compatible for that company or that organization. So they already have devised an method of defining the characters or defining the names. So you might need to follow them. You can also ask them. And if you are not working for any company, if it is your company, then you have to follow or you have to define your own code. You have to make your own standards. So these are something from the standard point of view. So what we want, let me get back to the business now. What we want you to define all possible relations in format of data dictionary. So whatever the relation that you will be having, you have to define data dictionary for those. So that is the next thing that I want you to do in the assignment. Is it okay? Okay. For what to start? The assignment. So before data dictionary, you need to have the relations. Okay. Let's say আমার একটা relation আছে, name is student. Okay. So under student, I might have student ID. We have first name. We have last name. We have date of birth. Let's say these are our attributes we already have in the from the relational schema. When you draw the relational schema, this is not correct relational schema, but just for the sake of argument, let me assume this is my relational schema. I have all relational schemas, right? Once I do relations, I have all those schemas, right? Okay. So now I know I have a relation called student, so I will name it as TBL student, or I can name it student underscore T, whatever convention you want to follow. Then I have to insert a table for this one. So the table should contain 4 or 5 rows. So this should be the name of the attributes, type of the attributes. What else? What next we have? Size or format, and we have remark. So here you can see we have student ID. So since it is a character type data, so we will say this is SC student ID, and the type would be
Text.
what is the type?
Text.
Or maybe I could mention character, or I could mention this is varchar. So
Okay.
based on the database, So in my database, if I assigned it as varchar, I should say varchar. Size maybe 7, and remarks I should say this is the primary key for the relation. This attributes store the ID of the student. For example, 1710345. Then I will go to the next column or next row. In the next row, we have first name.
স্যার
So,
স্যার
yes,
ভ্যারকারটা কি একবার বলা যাবে?
varchar is a variable character.
ক্যারেক্টার। ওকে স্যার, থ্যাংক ইউ।
Variable character, as you can see here, there are different types of database, different types of string type data. So it's variable length character, variable length string. Okay, from
Okay,
0
thank
to
you, sir.
6,500. Sorry, 65,535. This could be the length varchar. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So the next one would be first name. So I can similarly say this is also character type data. First, I can use camel case if you want. So let's say this is varchar, and for first name maybe I need 20 characters. Or how much you want to give for first name? 20 characters should be enough.
Yes.
Okay. So this contains the first name of the student. Example, Muhammad. See, last name. So again, varchar, maybe let's say 20. This contains the last name of the student. Example, on. Then this D type data.
Sir,
Let me come here. I need to check what exactly type, which exactly type I should be using. Maybe I can use only date. I can use only date. So date should be okay here. Or I can use date time, but date time I can see like date time is difficult, right? To manage it. So maybe I might need to stick with only date. So here I will simply say date, and I definitely need to provide a format. So each data might have a different format, especially dates. Like dates could be given in different formats. So it could be DD, MMM, or maybe it could be in this way, DD dash MMM dash YYYY. This could be a format. So are you aware of this format?
Yes,
If
sir.
I write in this format, how the date of birth will appear? First two would be
Day,
number,
month here.
and month would be the characters like Jan or Oct or June, this type, and then year would be 4-digit year. Okay, but if I simply say YY, it will take last 2 digits, but last 2 digit might get you confused. That's why I'm taking 4 digits. So this will show the birth date of the student. For example, 21 Jan 1999. Okay, so I'm done. And if you really want to do some fancy formatting, you can do that.
স্যার একটা কোয়েরি ছিল।
জি বলেন।
স্যার এখানে যে নেমের ফার্স্ট নেম লাস্ট নেম এখানে যে ছি অ্যাড করেছেন স্যার, এটা তো ক্যারেক্টার বোঝাচ্ছে, বাট স্যার নেম আর স্ট্রিং হয় না স্যার?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
স্যার নেম, দ্য টাইপ অফ দ্য নেম, স্ট্রিং,
Mhm.
ইট ক্যান বি স্ট্রিং।
Okay, if you go to the, can you see the screen, right?
ইয়েস স্যার।
So as I have mentioned, this is based on the available data type that we have. So here the basic data type is character. Okay, basic data type is character. That's why I am storing which represent character. But definitely, if you think this is string, so I will store s as the prefix. Is fine. It's your standard. You should have to put the standard. You have to set the standard by yourself. But from our point, we are choosing character as the standard. So that's why we have the prefix c.
ওকে স্যার,
Okay.
থ্যাংক ইউ।
Thank you. Is there any question from this part? Is there any question? Everything is fine? Only you know now how to do it in the report. So for each of those relations, we have to have a table like that. Okay, so this is a metadata. So we have the description of what we are doing or what we are dealing with. Okay. Uh, 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 sorry. Ji. Sorry. What you were saying? Process diagram থেকে? Are you there? শুনতে পাচ্ছেন? Can you hear me?
জি স্যার।
আচ্ছা। Ornoy was asking question or who was asking question? I hope there is no question now, right? Yes. Okay. Hmm. So আমাদের চারটা কাজ আপনাদেরকে দেওয়া হয়েছে। ERD to relation, normalization, and data dictionary. I will write down in detail what you need to do. When it is the assignment, I will write down what are you need to perform. Yes. Anything else? Okay. Anyone wants to ask anything else?